Well, welcome back to Walk the Word. Thank you so much for joining us again. And today we're going to be pausing to pray. And one of the big things that we do as a church is that we want to serve our community. We're really blessed to have Manor House where we're able to base ourselves from. And what I'd love us to do is to just spend some time praying for the work that we do at Manor House, and particularly for CAP that we have just recently launched. One of the things that the Bible is so clear on is that we need to remember the poor. It's one of the foundations that Paul looks to lay in churches, in Acts and beyond. That we need to remember the poor, we need to serve our communities, we need to look out for the people who others don't look out for. And as we've started CAP, increasingly I've kind of felt this real stirring for almost a prophetic picture of how we look to get alongside people and help them out of their debt. How it's a reflection of how Jesus has come and helped us out of our spiritual debt. See, we're in such a hopeless place, full of sin, full of guilt, full of shame, and yet Christ has come along and paid our debts, taken the weight of the sin and our shame and our guilt, and he's taken that away. And what we get to do as we start to get alongside people and help them with their physical debt is that we get to do the same. Debt can come with just such a sense of guilt, a sense that I should have managed myself better, I should have been able to deal with this. And we get to walk alongside people and to help them come out of the debt, to live debt-free, both in a physical way, but our hope and our prayer is that we get to see them debt-free spiritually too. So there's three things that I would love you to pray for. First of all, it would be great just to thank God for his generosity. When we started the process and the conversations about opening a debt centre, we knew it was going to be an expensive thing to do. We knew it would involve employing someone else. We knew that actually it costs quite a bit for every client that we put through that process. And actually God has incredibly provided for us through the gift day, through the generosity of our church. And so first of all, I'd love you to just spend some time thanking God for his provision. The second thing I'd love you to do is pray that we would have those stories, that we would have people that we get to walk with, we get to get alongside and help them and journey with them as they become debt-free physically, but also that we would see them become debt-free spiritually too, that they would get to encounter Jesus along the journey. The third thing that I'd love you to pray for is a far bigger thing. But actually we don't just want this to be the story within a small part of Leicester. Actually we want to see, and my heart is to see communities up and down the country changed as churches engage and mobilise to serve the communities that they're in. And so I just love you to pray that this would be a season on a national scale where, as debt is rising, as it is, a number of people in debt is rising as a result of the cost of living crisis, that churches would be able to engage with their communities, they'd be able to serve their communities well, that they'd be able to take up that mantle of serving the poor, and that we would see a real increase in a national scale where the church is again recognised as the place where people can go to find sanctuary. It's the place where people can go to find rest. It's the place where people can go where they're going to feel welcome and cared for, and they're going to get the help and support in the practical way that they need. And so let's be praying that we see the church step up to the mark in this season and that we would be able to play our part in that too. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this. Thank you so much for joining us in prayer, and we look forward to you joining us again soon. God bless.